morning, my people. How are you today? They don't random cat talk Thursday. Nakuru ate omwezi gugenze because as we speak today is 14 days into November, and that means we have 16 days to go. Of the 16 days for the normal business people, Sundays are off. Chitegeza tujako Sunday bili, which means we have literally 14 days, and some of you guys Saturdays are still off, which means you have 12 days remaining in November. At December, yenga bumumanyi, at least a week is off. Seasonal goods. But I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Random Cat Talk Thursday. You guys should be excited about the Saturday newscast. The weekly roundup, Yoku Saturday. You guys a very good roundup. Muyombia Mark. Tusime Eddie Mogala Social Mix from Louis Paul Sema Ingnia Joshua 256 Michael Yuji Sebugwa Medi Goretti Nachintu Travel Life Log Juma Ali Mwesugwa Isaac Onania ono Samuel Namisi Denmu Saja huyo John the Info Dumba Collins Denim George Senkubuge Morad K Momo VIP Ozenyo and Joseph Balikude Morad Obadenga yo mukamoli bana nojja kushigigeyo nga tevuganga ku taxi ngeri bwetyo ngogenda gisa kubala naye ino yavuga taxi neekoowa ono yajijja mu taxi n'agiramba yo si nnungi. But if you feel like a chigigi like that and you are going to put it on in taxi nga tevuganga ku taxi oba ogenda kweyagala bibeera nnungi naye nazo tezirabika ate bw'ozigwako baba baziseera okufaako obufi. But you guys, how are you? Yesterday we bought a Primo. And yeah, today guys, did you know we have a national planning authority? Yes, we have an organization by the government that is there to plan for the country. So apparently I was invited for a meeting with the planning authority to plan for artists. In the past I wasn't the person to be thrilled to be part of government endeavors, but then I realized that, you know what, if you're not part of the people that make the changes will be made, and those changes will not favor you. So yes, I'm going to a meeting with the planning authority together with so many other artists, like respectable artists, and I heard of the planning authority, but I did not know that it actually did anything. So but they do, and they engage stakeholders, and if you don't go, you are basically going to be represented by people who idea what you do and what is required to be done. So you can go to their website, guys, and check them out and see what they do. I'm sure as young people you want to learn which organizations do what. So there is a planning authority. Apparently it plans, so it creates plans and gives the cabinet, I think. Then it tells the cabinet, this is what we propose should be done for this sector, this is what we propose should be done for this sector, and all that. So that's where I'm headed, and then after that I'll go do other things. Saith Kagaba, good morning 360 videos. Obuzenyo Dero, Joseph Balikundeme, Katumba Hamidu, Football Tribe, Kari. So yesterday, I've not even seen the comments you guys put on that Primo, but yesterday the gentleman called me, I think it was like 3 to 4 days ago, and then he told me, Arthur, I just want you to look at one car. I want you to go with me and inspect a car. I want to buy a Primo. And you know, when someone calls me and they say, Arthur, I want you to look at this car, normally my question is, are you going to just look at one car? And my question doesn't come from a point of I want you to move. My question comes because in experience you should not be looking at only one car, and I know looking at many cars doesn't mean that you'll probably find like magic somewhere, but you looking at many options or having many options to look at gives you the opportunity to not put all your eggs in one basket. And I think normally when someone calls me and says, Arthur, I have a car that I want you to look at for me, normally I ask them that question. And I don't remember if there was a time that we went to that one car and it was very good. But when this gentleman called me, he said, a friend of mine told me of this Primo that is in Munyonyo. And I said, the first thing that came to my mind was cousin Munyonyo are normally good, yeah? So if it's in Munyonyo, we will go look at it. And I really hoped that it would be good, because then that would mean it would be one of those short inspections, like the one of the Subaru. And which one? I think we have had like 2 to 3 very short inspections in the past, yeah? And so I hoped it would be the same. So when I called the mechanic who worked with yesterday, he also said the Morokaze Munyonyo ziba ampya chitukolera. So we all left our station saying Nkoma mundachika abiri. So I left my office telling the people in the office Nkoma mundachika angana, because we are going to Munyonyo. We use the Entebbe Express, and remember I have my Entebbe Express card, so I don't pay for all those those trips I make. I don't pay the toll. So we set off and go via the express. And you guys, I went to the Munyonyo church. What did they call it? They called it some name. So I went to the Munyonyo church. It looks like a hotel. That church that is on you see the Munyonyo roundabout as you come from, I don't know, they call that the Munyonyo Express after the Entebbe Express. So that roundabout, there's a church, the Basilica. And then the person that was selling the Primo told us that there's only one basilica in Uganda. Yes, I'm a Catholic, but I don't know what basilica means. And he could not also tell us what basilica means. Yes, he gave a few descriptions, but guys, the Catholics that are here, what is a basilica? I know a cathedral. A cathedral is like the biggest church in the country. You get like Rubaga Cathedral, Namirembe Cathedral. There is no other cathedral. Others are just parishes. But what is a basilica? After yesterday's Primo was beautiful, and what happened to the national ID renewing? National ID renewing will start next year. So I talked to someone that works in NIRA, and he told me that the renewal of national IDs will start next year. Guys, I'm going to Fairway Hotel. I'm going to Fairway Hotel. What's the best route for me to use? Every time I see a Boda, I feel insecure. Mbammanyi anytime accident. Bana ngobo muzimu gwa Boda mubana. Bana bendizala. Anti kato yukole nyo starch. You guys, whenever you don't want your kids to take Bodas, you need to work really hard and try as much as possible to just have cars. As your kids get into adulthood, have like if you have 4 kids, have at least 2 cars. 2 kids can share a car. Which take it. That also helps you avoid conflicts in your home. Because borders in Uganda are literally inevitable. You get border. So I think one of the things that we should do is try as much as possible to educate ourselves about what is happening in the country, the laws that are being passed and all that. And for you guys that can join politics, this is your chance to join politics and make a change, because politicians actually make changes in Uganda. And when you join politics, then maybe you can be one of the people that bring up the change of, like, introduce a border law or something like that, because it's needed. It's definitely needed. You see all these guys that are riding borders here, like 90% don't have driver's licenses, 90% don't have third party, 90% have bad tires, 90% don't even know how to ride. You get it? And the 10% cannot outweigh the 90%. That's why we are all worried. It's a regulation. People should have helmets, for example, but how many of those guys do you see having helmets? And some of them don't even have real helmets. They have things that look like helmets. So I find that we as a people should be part of what is going on in the country, the planning, the laws that are being passed and all that. Nadala okuba nti ogenda zaala abaana bo balekeke Uganda nga togenda bafulumya bweru babeze bafune obutuze nga bajja beera bannayuganda. I find that that's one of the things that you should be doing, educating yourself. Me, I'm trying now. I find that because of so many bad things that have happened caused by the government, we have been alienated, or we have alienated ourselves, that we no longer even want to know what the government is doing. You get it? And that's a very bad position for us to be, because this is our country. The government officials are there to eat money. Bo, abasinga ku boat tebagala nansi yaffe. They are there to eat money. So I find that we should educate ourselves about what they are doing, so that even if they do something that is dangerous for our country, at a certain time too, we can reverse those things. You get, because we can reverse those things. For the country can be reversed. If a bill is passed, it can be amended. You get a lot of those things. So we can educate ourselves on those things. And yeah, and yesterday I was conversing with the person that bought the Primo, and I told him, Mzenga Arthur Nasarawo, Sigenda Kurwana Nancy, I want to be one of the people that stay alive and tell the story. I'll probably tell it through movies, through a TV show, through plays, but I want to be one of those people that stay alive to tell the stories. Right? Because fenabo tunagenda ku frontline tuwane tetujja kuba nabantu bagenda kunyumya mboozi eno. The thing that happened with the Obote and Amin regimes is that generation did not care to keep people that would tell stories. There's real stories that happened then. So generation eya Amin, eya Obote, eya Bina Isa, Rutwa, abantu bonna bonna bagana okusoma. So they cannot tell the stories. Abasoma, abali basoma, tebatubulira what actually happened. So we leave the British to tell our stories, and so my goal is to be one of the few people that will survive to tell the stories to our grandchildren, to your great-grandchildren. Our stories will be there because I am choosing to stay alive. So what is going to be your contribution? But mwabasolo ingira politics, mo ina capital ayingira politics. Teka muka kapitoko oyingire wangule, oyingire mu government, obeke ebintu byokyusa. Because you can. Today I'm inspection yegulo. I realize I'm actually patriotic. I'm very patriotic. I'm a patriotic Ugandan. So anyway, so yesterday, we went to the Basilica yesterday. That's where we saw the first Primo we expected. We went to the Basilica. And you guys, when you look at cars like that, you would think there are many. And it's yesterday that I realized the only guy, you remember the guy that bought a Primo at Oba Jigula 13 million, which was Oba, it was U80, Oba UAS, Yagura Bulunji. So we went to the Basilica and we saw this car. Now guys, let me try to make this clear. When you buy your car, buy with the mind that you will sell. Gwebuwona ogule motoka nolowooza nti nze nguze yange sijja kutunda sifaayo oba bagula oba ki watebagula. Guys, buy your car with the mindset that you will sell. Muve bintu byogamba nze ngula yange sijja kutunda gwengani. I've realized that people always sell, whether to upgrade or because they are tired of the car or because they are going abroad or because you get it. There are so many reasons. And normally when we say you will sell your car, people think that everyone that sells their car because they are broke. Selling doesn't mean you're broke. Me, I sold my house in Kasangati to simply move into a better neighborhood. Nenjitunda ate najitunda mangu nyonga neighborhood mwe nali entamye okitegeera the neighborhood je nalimu nga tenchalenjinga erimu abantu you know that such a neighborhood that is negative. So I just wanted to be in a better neighborhood, and I sold the house. Kati bobo gule moroka, and I tell you this, I don't know how many times I need to tell you this. And normally when someone comes to me to do pre-purchase inspection for them and they tell me, Arthur, me, I will not sell. Now, if someone has watched my videos for a very long time and they tell me, Arthur, me, I'm not going to sell, at that time I'm thinking they have made up their mind, so I don't even try to push it. But guys, we all get to a time and we want to sell. That's one thing I can tell you. And normally when you buy a car, I tell you the things to do. I tell you kola service ono, kola chino, chiri chireke. And normally the people that have the mindset of I will not sell, they do more than I told them to do in the first 3 months. And when you do more than you have to do, you make a loss when the time for selling comes. Ontegeera. So Why am I saying this? Emotoka je twasanze ku Basilica was a Primo. It was I think was 80 I think. Yabadde nsiikemu. Naye ng'obusiike bwayo baagisiika nnyo. Abasuubuzi b'emmotoka bakiyita kusiika. Like they renovated the car. Bakiyita bati oluzungu luba lutya okusiika mu luzungu kyeki. Saga flying ngabo renovating. There is another word that is better. Okay guys, let me just read these comments. But this is Nazisoma. Chris Fitness, good morning. Wakula Johnson, good morning. Sereko Starch, good morning. Viola Namiro, good morning. Travel Live Vlog, good morning. Arthur yesterday's Primo, okay. Chris Fitness, yes. Where are you now, Dero? Iha Katia. Obobuzizandi Dawa. Chamba de Annington Wakede Seth Agambi. A basilica is a church with a certain privileges conferred on it by the Pope himself. Yeah, I actually saw there was a tree that was planted by the Pope. Yes, there was a tree that was planted by the Pope himself. Have you ever found an afande and then you had to go the other side? It's cheaper for me to go this side than to start talking to an afande, explaining myself why I took that lane. It's just cheaper, guys. It's just cheaper for me to go this side. Okudda ali okutandika okwenyumyako nti ate afande mbadde nzire nentukalo nenekyusa ate wanajiraga gwe atha gwe agamba nti tuli enguzi okitegeera kati ebyo byonna okubigendamu kaneetoolole wano nyiza n'okwetooloola wano n'ensooka y'abali wali mu kalayini. Basilica ebeera ne privileges mwe bagayi. The Munyonyo Basilica is marvelous. It's fantastic. Eringa hotel, I'm telling you. Kireka balinayo ne golf course. Eyo Basilica ye Munyonyo. Nali sigendanga, it was the first time to go there. Era omwami oyo yantute ku inspection y'eggulo. Thank you very much. Wannambuza Kampala. So anyway guys, the Primo we bought yesterday, if you don't look after your car, when the time comes for you to sell, you're going to want to do a lot of work to make it look pretty, and then in the end you'll be chasing people away. People like Arthur that know what a good car should be, like ojakubo otugoba okitegeera nti waliwo abantu abakola emmoroka emito ne bagikola wansi carpet ne bagikola bava okukola carpet door panels ne bazikola okitegeera. That's a lot of work for you to do. Naye mwengeje ngenda ku Fairway Hotel pozi wali bazibyewo ekubo liri bazibye eri ekibuli ndaitano ku braka wano tuteye akada akakubo ku braka kagguka bani abensambya oba tekagguka lwa akakubo na akagguka akagwayo wali wansi kana akakubo kagguka kano tekagguka kano oyo wa Boda tayinza banga aba mu office ate ko kubava kuliri kubo najja kulino kagguka zikaitanga muna yenchimanyi kagguka from what I've seen ate tuba tuyitamu. So guys, we went and saw the Primo. Engine yabadde sinungi ngate moroka nsiike nnyo okitegeera and it was a U80 nga bagitunda 17 million shillings gayo bayakome 15 million, and for a U80 Primo nga ne yinginifu. And for the guys that don't know, the Primo engine, which is the 1ZZ, will cost you about 4 million shillings to buy and replace. It's not like the 1NZ, which will cost you about 2 million shillings. The Primo engine is the same that is in the Bajita Vista Adeo. It's the same that is in the Toyota Oppa. It's the same that is in the Wish. That engine we fire bay of replacing. Kati oli wakuguze moroka milioni 15 ngate engine ifo inojigule milioni 4 oba toguze bulungi. So netuva waawo, then we went in some bonds and so Primos. Eze moroka ngaba ziseera bannange. Eze moroka ziringa Primo na Alex. Simanyi lwaki abantu baziseera. Kasitana mwe mulambudde. Ne mulabyo okutwala leeni endala. Yonora kitayingira kuba abadde ki. You guys, I've seen that Karawuma akakagenda. Something is missing mwaku Karawuma. Ngezezaako kaagala biganyi. Karawuma ako kalina ekitali kituufu. but this is still cheaper than you trying to defend your moves to a traffic officer. There's a time I did a TikTok video nti omusirikale bwanyimiriza wali nga no waliwo amafuta nkyame nnyo amafuta sinyiza obutakyama kunywa amafuta naye nkyama bukyami nengera ne parking eyo bale nteko omukka mu mupiira bwe maana nenkyuka n'enzira gye mbadde nva bweba oyina emmoloka etali in good condition oba weewala kuwoza nnyo. Fairway isn't it slightly above Yusuf? Yes, that's the one. It expires next month, guys. The government updated everything. The government updated all organizations know that Ugandan national IDs. They updated everything, so every organization that deals with the Uganda government knows that yes, our IDs shows that they're expired, but they're only going to be renewed next year. So they all organizations know. So don't worry about it. I think there are online things that I have that had asked me to renew my national ID, but then they sent me notifications later telling me that according to the government, the national IDs are still valid. So don't worry, Starch. You'll have to come back next year and renew. No, I don't think Dr. James Mvala will be there, but people from there will be there. The people from the authority will be there. The front brakes chuck when you brake. Did they replace the brake holders? Brakes babu zako? Because that's another thing. If they did not replace those things, then the brakes will do that. By the way, is it a possibility? Still, taking that route was better than me trying to negotiate with an officer. Guys, I saw a belt of 1.5 liters. If you find one with the one NZ engine, you buy. Actually, nebo gisanga ne 2 NZ jikule. Nebo gisanga nga ina engine ya 1 liter togula. Gisanga ina engine ya 1 liter, don't buy. Omulabi mwana wa Boda. Na ita wo. So, since I'm going to Fairway Hotel, I'm not going to go back to Entebbe Road. Lindako. Obuzibu nyinza ogenda mu industry yange wakutte nnyo. Ate ngene waffe yo watambula. Kampite ne waffe nyambuke wali mpite wali ku parliament like that. Kampiteni waffe eri kajjamu ke eri kamalamu nnyo amaanyi luli. Yotaka genda ngo ogenda ddala mu direction and you have no other option. Yeah. So then we went, but then chanywa story ya Primo. Ati manyi nyumya nenvaako nenkomawo ne nyumya nenvaako nenkomawo. So we went and saw a bunch of Primos that were expensive, 23 million. Of course, we saw one Primo that they had said 17 nga nungi esakola na buli kimu and everything was okay naye nga yali yagwa ekigo, and bwe yagwa ekigo ne bateekako rooftop like bateekaka ebaati and emmotoka ya accident yo bwoba osobola gyewale ey'ekigo bwoba osobola okugyewala gyewale. So we left it there, and that's when they told us about that Primo that we bought. And we went, we drove it. Kati eyo Primo gye twaguze erinamu technicality, yalinamu 1SZ engine ebeera mu Nuwa 2000, and then they changed it ne bateekamu ZZ ya Primo. Era that the Primo that we bought is quite different from the normal Primo X's. It's a G edition, and even the comfort of that Primo is quite different. it supposedly has an AC console mumakati wano ku baati, which we did not yet figure out how it works, but it has that middle thing. Nemunde yawukanamu n'emito gyayo. I'm sure when you look at it, it's quite different. And we drove it once it wali chakola. I realized there was just one thing that needed to be fixed: the engine mount and the windscreen had a crack. Those are the only two things that needed to be worked on. And yeah, so that's how we did it. Then the person, I think, yatanikide million 18, and I think these guys know that these Primos are overpriced. Kati buli omwa overpricing. Atokumanya they are overpriced. We even tried to make the person that bought that Primo reconsider, like, which other cars would you actually drive that are not Primos? And when someone wants their Primo, they want their Primo. That's the one thing I've realized. Omuntu ayagala Primo, it's like the people that want the Spacio. Omuntu ayagala Spacio toyina ky'omugamba. Tojja mugamba okujjako nga buying the car you're telling them are saving. Okitegeera. Like there is a time yali one of my very first followers yali ayagala gula Spacio nga bamuguza Spacio yali UBD million 25. And I told him, but we can go to the bond and get a Paso set at 27. You buy an old car at 25 if you can get a new car at 27. So it took a lot of convincing, but finally I convinced him and we went to the bond and bought a Paso set at 27 million shillings. But you can imagine, omuntu ayagala emmotoka to that extent nga Spacio nzinye njagala. So he was willing to buy a Spacio at 25 million shillings. It had no working AC. The engine was kind of faulty. The body wasn't that good. Naye nga ali willing ogisaamu 25 million shillings, yeah? But that's because yeja amanyi nti emmoroka ennungi. Okitegeera, eh? So we bought a Paso set. He has never got problems with it. Kachemanya akajivugira ndozo mwaka sigu munga na ekitundu. Okitegeera, eh? So sometimes I find that it should, but people just love their cars. Omuntu abeerawo nga ayagala emmoroka ye. So kati agenda kola service akyuse ne mounting eyo ne yenda bikwamu. And butwadde mu field makanika yadde agamba endabiramu tetugikyusa endabiramu yo original. And for me, I find that omusirikale bwakuyimiriza nabulwa kyeyekwasa nga alyokajja kwako ka crack. Okitegeera you're supposed to try as much as possible to not give these officers something to start picking on you for. Okitegeera, you can imagine a traffic officer can get by now bakwata emmoroka ya Dr. Chiza Besigye, you remember, eh? Bagikwata ne bandoza na complaining na agenda mu court bayine bagamba nti yali DMC. Baba buza why was it a DMC? Ne bagamba mbu the paint was faded, but that made it dangerous. So but our goal should be to try as much as possible to give them nothing to say. Kala yogere the paint is faded nga bagambe moroka ya Dr. Chiza Besigye. Naye nga ebirala byonna you should try as much as possible to protect yourself, yeah? So that's how we bought that car, and I'm happy with the purchase. If you ask me what choice would I have made, Nzenga Arthur, let me see, at 18 million shillings, if it were not for that Primo. So now, one thing you guys need to understand, that Subarus are cheaper than Toyota. At that 18, we would have gotten a UB series Subaru, Legacy, Outback, Forester. You get, we would have been able to get those cars. But Toyota is Toyota, and apart from Toyota being Toyota, there are Primos, Spacios, Alexes. There are those cars that have that are hot cakes. You get, eh? So if you asked me what car would I have bought, of course now that 18 million doesn't take me to the bond. That's the thing. I think that's, for me, I find that as you say, I'd probably be able to get a Vitz like that. But that's because me, I'm not picky. I'm not picky about what car I drive, eh? But a Vitz probably at like 17, still newer than the Primo. But like I said, I want to have a Primo. And then of course that amount, I would have been able to get a Raum new model. But the Raum new model still doesn't sit properly with me. Still at that 17. Let me see which other car would we be able to get. 17. What 17? This Orogura Bajita Sienta. You could get a Sienta, or very comfortable, no, but I would definitely drive a Sienta over the Primo, because the Sienta would definitely be newer. 18. Oh, we are talking 17.5, not 18, yeah? We are talking 17.5. If we're talking 17.5, you could get a Wish. You could get a Wish, the old model. Still, yeah, it has the same engine. Still has the 1ZZ engine. Neno mwe mukimanyi nti ndobye mutunula kanyambukire wali mbadde nyina kudde eri side. So kati omutwe gwange gwamanyira nti nvuga nzira ku office. Kati era mbadde mvuga nzira ku office. At 18, what other car would I have bought? You know, I'm trying to look at cars that that will give you value for money. 17. Motoka nga si nyingi awo mbadde nyinza okugula. Bobo Sanze ISIS, even the ISIS is a good car. I'm definitely a bit late for my meeting, but I'm sure I'm going to be one of the first people to be in that meeting when they're a bit late. I think a Paso will not be my choice. No, I will not have a Paso as a choice. What other car would I buy at 18? What other car would I buy at 18? At 18 there is a possibility you can get like a 2004 RAV4. There is a possibility you can get like a 2004 RAV4. 18. Inachenda bechiri wano. Can't you say? Sometimes you just have to change call. When you change call, things work out a little bit different. When you change, wakati buli muntu yesi byagala kwambukira fika twambukire wano. Oba si kyekyo, we have to come from up. So 360 videos, I'm thinking so called kobero obati wa bricks. Ngomaro kebero obati wa bricks. Kyekyo kyendaba waawo ekiri awo. If clanking is what I understand, kebero obati wa bricks bateeka okuba tebabuzizzaako bulungi obanga bwagwa, because they fall sometimes. Sometimes they fall. Yeah, so I'm going to read all the comments. Nchakuba map mutwe wajendaga. Nchakuba map mutwe. I'm trying to find the best way to reach Fairway Hotel. Mutumba sewa tewatugamba mbuno oyinayo kigegezo ziri ku kkubo yiyo kigegemu watandika dokuteeka kigege ku kkubo naye tewatugamba bugambi. So anyway, it's random car talk Thursday. Let's talk tobuza bibuzo leta kibuzi. Arthur, we don't need a new law for Boda. We only need to tax them. Tupateka kwa musoro. Naye teka lyetagisa tewali teka lidambulula pichi zino. I think when they were doing the Road and Safety Act, they did not think they would have an influx of motorcycles like this and commercial motorcycles at that. Because at the time when they did that, I think it was mostly government entities and NGOs that had I don't know if I'm making the right choice. Let me just go. It was mostly government entities and NGOs that had motorcycles. So no one thought that young boys as young as 17 would be on the road riding motorcycles and to survive. And I don't think that when they were passing the Traffic and Road Safety Act, any one of them thought that borders. At that time, the word wasn't even there. No one thought that the word border would mean a means of survival for millions of men, and that means millions of families. You get? Because when you look at just one akakubo ketuli mkana karimu wode ziwere ebisatu. Kati bobala mubu buli kakubo wekati nga kalimu bode bisatu. And no one thought that border guys would be as powerful as they are. They can even they can throw the government. I made the right choice. I did make the right choice. Yeah. Good morning, Alcam Timo. Boda eberenga ya milioni nga 3.5. Hey. Government yafe bagenda gisula mangu bwe tunakola tukubanga. Boda zino ziraba abasoma abatasoma abasomamu. All these guys can survive on their borders, yeah. Let me see. We are going to Kafu Road, so it means we take this route. Fairway by Gendoza where I really hope it's the one that I think. Say there are things done by Munyonyo Shrine, like the heads of the Basilica can communicate directly to Rome. Hey, they can. So what does the Basilica help us? In a fairway? Bye. Fairway Hotel. Yeno. Kale, kati wano ngendo basi bulida wano. Kamaro okufuna parking. Hi. Morning. Thank you. No, I'm here for... These cars only pick people. I'm here for... Aha. Where is the planning authority meeting?
So what you're going to do, under the file in Uganda, that section, there's this parking after UPS.
Kale. Omukazi mumulidde temoloka ezipiikinga abantu zibangeno balengera mubuuzo oba n'abapiikinga abantu baba balina ebirevu nganze naye kaakati how do I kwenyiga in this place? How do I kwenyiga in this place? Kale, this is how you know that you learned how to drive the car. Kale, guys, atoketwa over ataya yigo okuvuga emmoroka. Ndagirira kyo ntomeze nga ndaba kampakinga ebyange ndulagirire bali. Hai. Awo tumazeewo. Kale guys, katsobe comment zinezisembayo ate ekyo nakyo tubenga tukiggala. I think they have not announced the grand plan for those living outside Uganda. Salmin, good morning. Say, is that church where Catholics usually go to Munyonyo for? I think that's the place. I even saw like a small place that doesn't really look like a church, but apparently it's also part of the church. MK Dental Hub, good morning. Nampija Juliet, say bane mugenda kunzikiza yesu genda kusoma manyanga ambasibula nenga mwe namba like sabali abali kwa guru nenda basomye nga tutandika broadcast sicho. Alcantimo bro, you had promised to talk about the Raktis UBJ that I shared with you via WhatsApp. I'm raising sums for clearing my new one in Mombasa. Now Alcantimo is selling a Raktis. It's a 1.3 liter. It's a 1.3 liter Raktis, unfortunately, it's one of the practices that I've not recommended ever. Which tegeera. So yes, Alcamtimo is selling a practice. It's 1.3. He says it's in very good condition. Sinajirabako yajimpereza mbifaananyi. The reason why I didn't share it is because I've seen so many people that get issues with the 1.3 liter practices, yeah. And of course, the ones that had 1 liter practices had more problems than the ones that had 1.3 liter practices. But I've not recommended it to anyone. And looking at the price that you're selling it, it's almost the price that goes with the one that is 1.5 liters. Right? So I think that was my issue. I had conflict of interest if I personally don't recommend someone to buy a car that, because I find that the body of a Rectis is very big for the 1.3 liter engine. You get it can survive, but you know you have to be very careful while driving the Rectis that has a 1.3 liter engine. But Alcamtimo has it. Wagambo jituna sende meka Alcamtimo. Wagambo jituna sende meka. You see, I'm one of the first. I'm seeing people that are arriving from a meeting. I know this person's face. I just don't know their names, but I've seen them somewhere. Council Patrick Asiku, football tribe, refurbished. Yes, akagamba kukambula. Spicing, Dani, but spicing. Ronald Mucho, good morning. Omni Wandiambi, good morning. Edwin Mugerwa, good morning. Arthur, greetings from Chisoro. How is Chisoro Felix Money? Chisoro situ kangai, by the I've never been to Chisoro. Msaja wakabaka, Dr. Matia. Banai Dr. Matia nyine chibuzo. Nagaya nefu nawe dagala, banange fa abasajja. I find that when doctors are giving us medicine, they should always remember. Omusajja tomo dagala there 3 times a day. Kati kumachamira, emisana nempatikana nenirabira nenzukira ku 11. Kati nalivuddeko njagala kuddayo. Bampe dagala dali ensobola okumira at least once a day. Kuba kati nkimanyi dozi yafudde nakeerabira ennaku 3 inero. Bwe mira kumacha emisana nenirabira. Like that. Guys, double tap the screen before we go. Double tap. You guys are 59. Double tap so that we get more likes. Dero, okay. Feel the 2010 bro, does it use hydraulic or it's in its gear? Yes, all gearboxes use hydraulic. All gearboxes use hydraulic. Katumba, you guys, have you seen the video that they were cutting out organs from a human body? I've not seen that video. You share a link with me. Goreti Nachintu. Yajirabienze sinajiraba. Chris Da Vinci, good morning. Busy Chris, good morning. We must do what Arthur. If I call you to inspect my car, which I'm already using, why do you want me to inspect a car that you're already using? Moroka yiyo. Ana mwetano. Kati you're already driving it. Why do you want me to inspect it? To me, him say Ivan Junior. Yes, Arthur, you have just passed one of my drones right now. Taxi team hello. Eriko bigambo chi team hello. Ngamba kati. So that's the muzita komenza gwe kama wa mumanyi. Ochaloi Daniel, yeah, good morning. Arthur, can't one get a bit new model at 15? Yes, you can. You can. Just don't be too picky with number plates because kati 15 million kuba kati ujagenda ngabasinga ate batunda 17. The UBK okitegeera awe what? Mosey, some brokers shared pics of a Primo USZT at 14, another UX at 15. Always at tukiremo tugende tukole inspection oba tulindemu. He also shared a Spacio new model UBD at 18. Zonna tuziraba kasule. Zonna tugenda ntuziraba. Me, one thing I know, I keep all my options open. I always want to go and look at all options shared with me. Why do I want to go and look at all options shared with me? Because I want to look at all the options shared with me because mwezo options mwemugenda okuva ekirungi. But once you don't go to look at these options, tojja kumanya chichirungi. So we can go and look and if you can get more options, Kasule, you get all those options. Arthur Ogambia, you're going to Fairway Hotel na you're heading to your workplace. Mbadde neera bidde. If you don't mind, can I also share you pics ongambe tugende leero okole inspection? Leero sisobola. Leero eno meeting jengenda mbagita breakfast meeting ya 1 hour. Njiveemu nina program endala olwaleero. Nina program endala olwaleero. That's why I normally tell you guys book me a few days before. Okitegeera. You good with Hondas? Zach, we have someone here that will come. Wanaja mu holiday nga akomiwe Kampala. I will invite him atunyumize Honda. Nay, one day I will be on the road driving. Nga Aisha will tell them straight to Kukubo and will be like, Kari, I used to listen while working with my earbuds. Hey, Arthur, bye. Let me get ready for coming. It's coming to 6 a.m. Kari, man, thank you for being here. Hi, Arthur. Can a catalytic converter be replaced if stolen? Yes. The fuel consumption will be affected very little. Very little. Yeah, but if they still replace it, not just for your car and your fuel consumption, but also for your kids and grandkids. Yeah, Emmanuel 179 WAMV Technology, good morning. Lucky Mose, good morning. Salmin, so uncle, we food wa fast and furious. Mugalasi Joshua Isaac wali njagala yo 1 acre for 1 million for 8 million. Isaac, actually Joshua can call the number Isaac. Ngenda kuweleza namba ya Isaac. Salmin, Joshua wuna ina milioni za mnana ya galayo eka. Ni hati ya eza Salmin za 15 milioni eka. Abantu mbala batuka butusi ku meeting. Chitageza nze nkera. Reynard Jordan. Someone wants to sell me Sienta UBJ 18.5. Weba nunji, but simanyirwa emoro UBJ last year zalinga za 15, 14. Simancha atuse ku moroka. Okay. One NZ sir 20 million. Traceable William, good morning. Fast phone fix UG. What car do you recommend at 20? A lot of cars. Let's talk about them tomorrow. Question Friday. Arthur, I would like to know if lacking a catalytic converter should stop me from buying a car. When you're buying a car that doesn't look at catalytic converter, bobo muntu gwogula ko ayagala nnyo nga atunda nnyo nga ayidde musale sente za converter gojeteremu. Nenga they can reprogram the ECU never jam catalytic converter never ngate tags, but I don't recommend it for our kids and grandkids. Which car can I get at 18? Let's talk about that tomorrow. Nowadays we have different kinds of doctors. Those who graduated, those Dr. Jose kajoga ama Dr. Kasule huyo doctor ainaneka na akantu ainaneka no ka uniform kawe. Arthur, with about 17 let's talk about the cars tomorrow, guys. Ebibuzo katubiyogere kencha ne chairman wa meeting una atuka butusi. Good morning car lovers. Harrison nkuzem. Arthur, you are out of the matrix. This 8 to 6. No, I'm not out of the matrix, guys. It's just that me, I'm an artist. Wachitegera artist enkola ya fenda guys. Munzikirize mbasibule ngenetandike meeting eno. May the good Lord bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Question Friday. Abambuze biuzo nesibidamu tomorrow tugenda bidamu. May the good Lord bless you. I'll be excited about the Saturday segment that we introduced. Ciao.